the three fundamentals. So we're going to be talking about sitting or standing posture in general. We're going to be talking about how you approach the guitar with your fretting hand, and we're going to be talking about picking. So picking on an individual string and crossing the strings. It's also quite important when you sit down to practice to have a cup of tea. Here we go. So the first thing is about getting into position. So it does make a difference what you sit on, I find. Obviously you sit on a chair or a stool. Something without armrest is ideal. At the same time, I find that practicing in a proper chair is better than sitting on the end of the bed or sitting on the end of the sofa and playing. You want to try and put your bum quite far back on the chair so that your back is fully supported. If you're standing, of course, none of this applies. The first area we're going to focus on is the shoulders. So I'm just going to go through each of the body parts. Just take 10 seconds or so just to relax them fully and really pay attention to how it feels. So we're going to do shoulders now for 10 seconds. Just relax them. Like I said, you really want to pay attention to just how it feels to be completely relaxed. So it's important to just be aware of your breathing. I see so many students like holding their breath while they play, and I'm guilty of it as well sometimes. So what we're going to do is going to focus on that for 10 seconds roughly now. And just pay attention to where it is in the body. Is it shallow? Is it in your chest, or is it in your stomach? Next thing is the feet. The feet nice and relaxed. And the legs as well. So we're just going to focus on those for about 10 seconds. Next up is your back, relaxed. You don't want to be too hunched over obviously when you're playing, and you don't want to be sat bolt upright all the time. You just want to be just nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed. So just switch your attention to your back for the next 10 seconds or so. Next up is the all-important arms and fingers. So you just want to switch your attention to those. You can perhaps do one arm at a time. Just make sure, just completely relaxed, nice and floppy. Do that for about 10 seconds now. And finally, just want to get a sense of overall how the whole body feels. So just keep that nice and relaxed. Just a general feeling all over for about 10 seconds. Don't focus on anything in particular, just an overall sense of relaxation in the entire body. Next up, you want to try and hopefully carry across some of that relaxation when you pick the guitar up. So you just run through the same exercises, literally just 10 seconds. You don't want to spend ages doing this, but at the same time it's such a short amount of time doing it, but obviously it's going to get you in the right state of body and mind to play guitar. And you might notice it's obviously resting on my left leg, and it's elevated with a footstool. Really cheap, really good investment. I'm inviting you to try it out and see if it makes a difference. When I was playing stuff to perform in a band, sat at home, it was okay, and then as soon as I stood up on stage and played, it felt completely different. If you adopt this posture with the guitar on the left leg elevated, it's the same as when you stand up. So I've got my strap attached to the guitar here as well, so it stays at roughly the same height, so it doesn't come as a big shock when I stand on stage and my guitar drops around my ankles or is up around my neck or something. So the next motion that we want to focus on is fundamental motion for the fretting hand, and that is just how you approach the neck of the guitar. You want to imagine you're doing like a bicep curl, like at the gym, you're lifting a weight. So you keep your elbow tucked in and then you just lift the weight. So it's exactly the same when you approach your guitar. You're just bringing your hand and your fingers up to the fretboard, putting your thumb behind the neck by just simply lifting your arm. So just practice that for about 10 seconds. Just lifting the hand up to the neck. When we practice picking on a single string, is we're looking at the motion. What's happening is the pick is obviously moving slightly away from the string down towards the floor or back up towards the ceiling if you're doing alternate picking. What I'm going to do is just a really simple little exercise. Just take 3 notes on the D string. So I'm going to use the 9th fret on the D string with my ring finger, 10th fret with the pinky, and just basically descend back down to the 7th fret with my first finger. Just a really, really simple little 4-note pattern. I'm not too bothered about what's going on here. I'm making sure that the pick is not moving obviously too far away towards the floor and it's not moving too far up towards the ceiling. Just want to keep that motion really nice and small and consistent. But not tickle it, I still want it to sound quite loud as well. So just really focusing on just getting the most out of each of the notes that I'm playing, focusing more on the picking, the pick stroke itself. Is it really efficient and effective? Again, you don't want to spend hours doing this. You just take a few seconds out to begin with and work on this technique just to make sure that it's okay. When you want to move through strings, so I'm going to take this, I'll take an A minor chord, something nice and simple. I'm going to start on the D string and I'm going to go down to the E and then back up to the D string. So I'm going to play these 4 strings. That's it. So what I was doing with the pick there was all consecutive downstrokes, so down, 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 and then up, up on those 2. What I'm paying attention to there is this technique called breaststroke, which is as soon as you finish playing the string you're on, the pick is already on the next string. It's ready to play it, but you just push through, so you come to rest on the next string. That's something that you want to pay attention to if you want to do either arpeggios like that, or if you're doing more advanced stuff, sweep picking arpeggios. Generally speaking, you can be at any level. You could be complete beginner starting out. You could be somebody who's sort of struggling through the intermediate stages. You could even be like an advanced or an advancing player. And it's still really important to pay attention to these fundamental things. I know that they sound like really, really easy, and most people are expecting some big secret, but there really isn't one. But these are just some of the ones that you should always be paying attention to. Like every time you pick your guitar up, you should be concentrating on just simple things like sitting correctly, minimising the movement in your playing as well, and being aware of any tension, so any stress or any tension in your body that's definitely not needed to play guitar, and in fact just hinders your progress, just makes it a lot harder for you to do. So yeah, my parting advice would be to not dismiss any of these concepts, just try them out, and I guarantee that they'll work for you. They've worked for like thousands and thousands of other people. It's no big secret, it's just something you have to get on and do. So let me know how you get on, and I wish you all the best of luck with this. Take care and I'll see you soon.